I went the other way. I started out as an investment banker and left and started a restaurant.
If I drink too much, will I go to hell? And I've been drinking steady since I was 12. Smoke up all your weed, it's okay. Next in line is that sweet cocaine.
So being a native San Diegan, growing up here, I've always been surrounded by craft beer. My dad's favorite beer was Red Trolley growing up from Carl Strauss, and very fond memories of spending a lot of time in that brew pub as a kid. So always been around craft beer, but when I opened my first restaurant, California Kebab out by San Diego State in 2009, we intentionally brought on 6 local craft beer handles and decided that we were going to rotate those, and found a great following, particularly amongst grad students and professors, of wanting to come in and learn about the beers. And so as I had to get my own knowledge to explain these beers to these people, I got more and more involved with the scene and realizing how quickly and rapidly it was growing in San Diego and wanting to be more and more a part of it. So that's eventually what led to us creating Amplified Ale Works in the back of our kitchen at our second restaurant in 2012. And when we first started the concept, we really wanted to amplify different flavors. So we were really focused on creating these, big, hoppy, aromatic, double dry hopped IPAs, double IPAs, and really pushing the boundaries. Over time, we've actually, toned back some of those kind of really bold flavors and realized that a lot of our consumers really want something that's a more sessionable, approachable beer for hanging out on our patio at the beach and also going to concerts, and something that's a little more quaffable. So while we still have, I'm drinking a 11% plus double IPA right now that we just released yesterday, so we certainly haven't turned away from that. But at the same time, our Whammy Bar Wheat, which is an American wheat ale, is one of our best-selling beers at a 5.5% ABV, very light, subtle flavor, and we're finding that more and more people are kind of returning to those very sessionable types of beers. So once we did open up in 2012, we were constantly battling not having our flagship IPA on tap in Pacific Beach. And we were getting a lot of really frustrated customers who'd come seeking out our Electrocution IPA, and we wouldn't have it. And we'd have to say, hey, come back next week. Our brew house was really small, 3.5 barrel system, tucked away behind our kitchen, running hoses behind our bar to get to our fermenters. It wasn't ideal, let's put it that way. So after working within those challenges that we created for ourselves for several years, we were exploring any and all opportunities to grow the brewing side, particularly because we would maybe have 2 to 3 house beers on at any given time because they sold so quickly, and we only had so much fermentation space. We had 2 tanks to start off with. We ended up getting a 3rd fermenter, and we still couldn't keep up. So we were out there looking everywhere, and we heard about this H.G. Fenton Brewery Igniter series, which is a turnkey brew house that we could basically walk into and start brewing beer day one, and it was really the perfect solution for us. Since we moved into this facility, we've been able to brew it twice a month, 3 times a month if needed, and keep it on tap all the time, along with our Pig Nose Pale Ale, our Electrolyte Session IPA, as well as still being able to do experimental batches like this 11 double IPA. It's been a tremendous help for growing our brand, producing more beers, and really getting the beer into the customer's hands. The craft beer scene in San Diego, in my mind, is unique to any other business or industry I've ever been a part of or have seen. It's so collaborative, it's so open and friendly. I can pick up the phone, and if I need to get yeast, I can call any number of breweries from around here to harvest yeast from their tanks, which can save us hundreds of dollars, and it's no sweat off their backs, but at the same time, not something that would particularly happen in other industries. There's not a lot of trade secrets that people hold particularly dear that they're not willing to share, which is something that is so tremendously helpful for kind of a young startup like we are, to be able to lean on guys that have been doing this for years and years. We have a collaboration series going on with Carl Strauss, and it's tremendous to be able to work with Paul Segura, their head brewmaster. I mean, I take classes at UCSD from him, and I also get to pick his brain on a brew day, and it's just tremendous to be able to tap into a wealth of knowledge with somebody like that, and really then apply those skills and what we learn from him on our own side of things. So at the end of the day, what we're really about is making beers that people can enjoy. Because of our brew pub roots, we have somewhat of a broad array of different beers because we want to have options for everybody. But we've always focused on Belgian styles and hoppy beers. Those have kind of been the two, really the two yeast strains we've always worked with. With this facility and the amount of bright tanks we actually have quite a bit of cold storage, so we're starting a lager program as well. We produced our first American lager called the Sellout earlier this year. Won a silver medal for that at the San Diego International Beer Competition a few months ago. So come for the beer, come for the food, come for the music, but either way, you're coming for good times and being able to hang out and have fun with friends.